Hi guys, Big Weir, roadtoruta.com. Actually, I'm changing my name to Navin R Johnson from the movie The Jerk, and I dressed accordingly today. I'm here to talk about your morning news. You might ask, why am I dressed in a bathrobe and a hat? If you saw the movie The Jerk, a classic Steve Martin movie, it's a guy who goes from nothing, has no money at all, to being one of the richest guys in the world, and then loses it all. He walks around and goes, that's all I need. All I need is my bathrobe and this lamp and a remote control. And that's all I need. That was the end. So I thought I'd dress up a little today and talk about the new wealthy people out there who have bought cryptocurrencies. And most of them were poor, and they're getting rich off these cryptocurrencies. And they could potentially lose it tomorrow. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the future will bring in the unbacked fiat monetary system, the gold market, the silver market, and of course the cryptocurrency markets. Yes, everything could disappear. Not likely in the cryptos, but it could. Yeah. Yes, the gold and silver price could be set to zero with a click of a mouse and then shut down forever. I don't think it will, but it's possible. Anything is possible. So if you're feeling really wealthy on the crypto world, think of Navin R. Johnson. He went from nothing to rich beyond his wildest dreams to nothing. And in retrospect, it's real easy to figure out what you should have done. But in life, you got to figure that out yourself. You got to live through it. There's lessons to be learned. So in the cryptocurrencies, are we topping? No, not a chance. Could it go away tomorrow? Yep, it can. It would be catastrophic. It would be a taking down of the internet. Every country in the world making it illegal. Things like that. Will it happen? No, because there's people. I mean, on the countryside, most people aren't going to give a crap what the government thinks or throws out as a law very soon, because the government is destroying the monetary system. And when that goes, it's everybody for themselves. And yes, if the U.S. outlaws Bitcoin, which I don't think they will, as a matter of fact, they're doing the exact opposite. They're looking at ways of protecting Bitcoin. But anything is possible. And just remember, Navin R. Johnson, if you're walking around feeling very rich as a cryptocurrency genius and telling all your friends, oh, I know exactly what's going on, it can all go with a fleeting crash of any system. Do I think it will? No, I don't think the cryptos will crash at all. I think they'll be around. Not all of them. I think the majority of the 700 plus cryptocurrencies will be gone in a couple of years. But in the meantime, ride the wave. Buy a couple things maybe as it goes up, things you've always wanted, and pull out the money that your original investment. Is always a good idea. That way, if things crash, you don't have to worry about it. You did all right. You got out with your original investment intact. On the flip side, these things could run for decades. And I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will run for decades. Decades. So a $44 billion market cap that Bitcoin has today could easily turn into $44 trillion market cap. Yes, you heard it here first. And it probably will at some point. We will enter a hyperinflation phase. Those of you who bought Cliff's latest report, that's where we're headed, a hyperinflation phase over the summer. And where it will be exposed probably won't be exposed in the government numbers on inflation rates, but it will be exposed in the cryptocurrencies, probably in gold and silver as well. So yeah, exciting times. Hang in there, all you Navin R. Johnsons out there. And don't forget to take a little profit here and there, as far as buy yourself something nice with the money you originally put in. Then you're just playing with everybody else's money. All right, let's get. And if you haven't got in yet, yes, get in. It's time to get in. Get in and close your eyes, because cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum especially, are not going to be trading like normal assets. There's just way too much smart money and big money, and people who don't even know anything about the cryptocurrencies who are going to be wanting to get in over the next couple years. So yeah, it's going to run. Things are going to go up 1,000%, 2,000%, 10,000%. That's the way it works in a free market. When there's a brand new idea, it's really cool and really useful, it's going to go crazy. So ride it, have fun with it, and tell your friends that you're Navin R. Johnson. Anyway, update on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin is up to $2,700, $2,730. It's gonna run. It's gonna run. Remember, it was 18 months ago. It was $200, and I was screaming at everybody to get in. Well, I'm still screaming. You know, it'll go to 10,000. My estimate is 10,000 this year, which was crazy back in December when I put out the timeline report of my estimates of what the cryptocurrencies would do this year. But as we sit here with 1/4 of the price, you can see now how easily it can get to $10,000 a coin. And then from there, it's, it'll be volatile. Yes, it's going to drop $1,000 and then rise, 1,500. Ultimately, there's going to be big drops, but it's going to continue on the upward momentum as the old system collapses, and that's what we're trying to hedge against, the collapse of the monetary system. The bad guys versus good guys battles will be ending soon, and the good guys will win, but they will win in a cloud of dust. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper. Ultimately, coming out the other side, it'll be nice to have silver, gold, and Bitcoin in your pocket. Not held at a third party, but in your pocket. So continue to learn. If you're a Road to Ruta private road subscriber, we have a Bitcoin assistance page that can help you set up a Bitcoin account and get started, and importantly, get it offline into a paper wallet. So get going. The world's passing you by, but remember, you're still on the leading edge. If you've been listening to the Road to Ruta, you've been listening to the Cliff High stuff, you know that things are changing, and this is a very important time in human history that the bad guys are being taken out. Cliff High doesn't call them good guys and bad guys, but he's pretty much says, a lot of what I say is even kind of close to true, that there is a battle going on. There is more than what we see on the outside, and it all stems from this epic battle between the good guys and the bad guys behind the scenes, is the Road to Ruta theory. All right, let's move on. Let's see here. Let's go to Zero Hedge for I'm going to rip through the morning news. The best thing right at the top there on the top left, John McAfee's new company is making a killing in Bitcoins, but no one gives a damn. John McAfee is the most bizarre human being out there. He does whatever the hell he wants. He doesn't care who's watching, or what they think of his actions. He's the founder of the McAfee software, big tech guy, and a character, absolutely a character. Go to YouTube and look at his interviews. Brilliant guy. He's knee deep in Bitcoin. He's starting a huge Bitcoin mining operation in I think it's in upstate. It's in Washington State, not the swamp on the East Coast, but the lovely state of Washington, rainy and cool, which is good for Bitcoin miners. But in the U.S., so yeah, keep an eye out. I think every country will start mining for Bitcoin, and as a government-sponsored things, the governments are going to get into Bitcoin in a big way, and central bankers are going to be printing money to buy Bitcoin. So be ready for that, and John McAfee's on the leading edge of that. Believe it or not, no matter how crazy it is, he is a smart dude, and check out his interviews on YouTube. You crack up. Let's see, the World Bank of China explains. I think that's the World Bank of China. It could be World Bank of Canada. Anyway, what the hell is going on? Prudent Fed and Chinese intervention. Chinese bank stocks saw a 5.8 standard deviation swing overnight. Yes, China is rigging the markets. Whoopie-doo. So does the U.S. So does everybody. China is doing exactly what the U.S. has done for the last 100 years. Print as much money as possible, soaking up all the benefits, and then ultimately destroy the system. The Chinese financial system is on the brink of collapse, and that's a big one. That's a big one, my friends. It will take down everybody else. Sean Hannity takes abrupt vacation amid advertiser boycott. Advertisers didn't like that Sean Hannity was talking truth about Seth Rich, so they are basically going to give him the boot. That's how powerful the deep state is. It's insane out there. Even the mainstream media, if you even hint at the reality of what's going on, they're going to take you out. So I liked Hannity. I liked that. I didn't like him when he was when Ron Paul was running for president. He was just bashing Ron Paul left and right, calling him a racist and all this crap. So, yeah, they worked for the man, and apparently he did something that the man didn't like. The NASDAQ finally erases Trump dump and spikes to records highs. Yeah, I remember the little mouse in the basement of the U.S. Treasury building. Click, click, click. Steve Mnuchin can drive any market he wants up as high as he wants. So that is completely under control. And click, click, click. Hold down the prices of gold and silver. Good job, Steve Mnuchin. Catalonia threatens Spain with financial bloodbath. Catalonia's independence would set off Spain's debt time bomb. It would mean the loss of 25 to 30% of Spain's gross domestic product. That's something that the government will never let happen. Well, you're going to have to go to war. It's the North and South type of thing. We have the same thing in California, Northern California and Southern California. But if Spain goes, every bank in the world goes. Because they are knee-deep in derivatives. They're knee-deep in investment by banks like Deutsche Bank, by JP Morgan, by Citibank. And remember, the derivative bomb goes off. It's bang, 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 bang. Every single large bank will go down, which takes down every little bank because they're all interconnected. They all have the same customers. And poof, in a matter of weeks. Remember, Lindsey Graham said, Europe will go first, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, the United States will go. This is the banking electronic monetary system will poof unback the unbacked electronic monetary system, the fiat system. The difference between an electronic monetary system like Bitcoin versus the U.S. dollar and all the other electronic monetary systems is the other ones. The fiat money is all debt-based money. Bitcoin is not. It is asset-based. And we can argue that till the cows come home, but clearly Weir has been right so far. So all those brilliant gurus who don't like Bitcoin and say, oh, it's going to be gold and silver, there's nothing backing Bitcoin, they have been proven wrong again and again and again. It just takes them a long time to figure out the truth behind Bitcoin, what it is, what it represents, and why people would want it. That's why Bitcoin's at $2,700 when they were screaming it's going to crash at $100. Gartman turns bullish on tech. That means sell any tech stock you have. Gartman has been wrong perpetually. Every time Gartman comes out with a statement, he's been wrong. So whatever you would be rich if you did the opposite of what Gartman said. All right, the GDP to suffer as retail wholesale inventories tumble in April. Yeah, I mean the retail model in general is dying because of the internet. That's the brick and mortar type companies. How can you compete with the internet? But it's so much easier, and delivery times are so fast now. With Amazon has this same day delivery even. So it's crazy what's going to happen. The internet and internet related things displace things that are old school, and retail's getting it now. It was the mailman before. Retail's getting it now, and the old school style of money will be taken out by the new school style of money, which is Bitcoin. And Ethereum's not money. It's more of a platform and a token, but the token rises. The token rises. So get yourself Bitcoin, Ethereum. And speaking of Bitcoin, Bitcoin explodes, trades above $4,000 in South Korea. It's something interesting in Bitcoin are the exchanges. They're pretty much unregulated. They're all over the world. That's why you see prices. Wait, I thought Bitcoin was $3,000, and now here it says $2,500, and in South Korea it says $4,000. Each exchange is its own little microcosm and own little community. It could trade for $1 million or $1 billion Bitcoin within one exchange. Theoretically, you'd see arbitrage. You'd see someone from a different exchange buying and selling and moving that around. So over time, it kind of levels out. But there's also rules that a lot of exchanges say, well, you can't take your Bitcoin out. There's just so much you can pull out at a time. Most of the exchanges are just Ponzi schemes. None of those transactions go on the blockchain. So be careful of the exchanges. Your job right now is to get your Bitcoin, get your Ethereum, get whatever other cryptocurrency you want to play with, and take it off the exchange, out of the online wallets, into your own possession, and then bring it back when you want to sell it. Bring it back online. And paper wallets, you need to sweep the whole wallet, and that paper wallet is then worthless. once it's swept and all the coin, like Bitcoin, goes back onto an online wallet, you can always just print out another paper wallet, create another wallet. And a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do that. So the key for Bitcoin, those of you who are new to it and other cryptocurrencies, is it takes some study. And a lot of people say, "Oh, Bix, what do I do here?" Go on to YouTube and learn it, because it's important to learn how to do it, not just have me tell you how to do it. Okay, thank you. China accuses U.S. warship of trespassing in disputed waters. Warns it to leave immediately. Poking the bear. Trump is poking the bear. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes on this one? I don't know. But something is. And China and Russia and the U.S. are working together to take down the bad guys behind the scenes. That's what the whole Trump investigation is. Were they colluding with the Russians? Of course. We had to take out the bad guys. And the bad guys don't like that. So they're fighting, screaming, and scraping. Outraged. UK stops sharing attack information with the US due to media leaks. The UK's false flag in Manchester is being exposed every day, and the UK doesn't like it. They like having control of the narrative of the story, of the false story, and they make up, this person died, and they'll say, well, I know this person and he's dead. I don't know how many people died. I don't know if anybody died, but I do know one thing, that the UK media is telling a lie, and CNN is perpetuating that lie. And when the UK is outraged that the US shared information, it's most likely they shared information that they didn't, it was fake information. They hadn't covered their tracks yet. Look for pictures of the dead and the wounded in the UK bombing attack. All I've seen is one picture. 21 million. I said that the other day. 21 million people. 21,000 people were at that concert. Every single one of them had a cell phone with a picture, a camera on it, and a video camera. Yeah, you see the pictures of people crying, and the one picture of the girl with the short leg supposedly ripped off with the little tiny bandage around her kneecap that they keep showing. And then there's a picture of supposedly dying people, about 5 or 6 bodies that they've all blurred out, and these 2 stripes of blood. But those are pretty much the only pictures, with 21,000 camera phones. It was a con. It was a con. They ran a false flag attack simulation the year before, about 7 miles away, at a big mall where they had a suicide bomber. Go online, you can find the video footage of that, and pretty much the same thing happened. So they had prepared for it, as usual. Oil tumbles after OPEC ends with a whimper. Agrees only to 9-month extension. Yeah, destroying. Interesting that Trump just met with the Saudis and just gave them, weapons for what was it, $350 billion. That did a lot of things. Most likely, he said, we're gonna rig the price of oil lower, and we want you to flood the market with physical. You don't really need physical oil to rig the price of oil. It's all derivative contracts, like everything else. But a couple things that did happen with the arms sale is, number one, most likely it was U.S. Treasuries that would have flooded the market. So instead of flooding the market, it's being given to the U.S. to secretly disappear and maybe cover some holes. And also, these weapons, the high-tech weapons we give them, are all embedded with super secret CIA, NSA control mechanisms, so that we can turn a smart bomb around. That if we don't like where the destination's going, we'll just hack into the smart bomb and turn it around. That's the amazing thing about technology. Like when we give people airplanes and they turn into our enemies, we can shut them down at any moment. We can drop them from the sky with a computer click. Amazing what technology can do, my friends. Let's see. We're going to run through Rand Paul, the forced vote on massive Saudi arms deal. Warns sales would drag U.S. into Yemen war. Rand Paul is the guy who's going to stop, at least on the front, stop any of the insanity that the bad guys want to cause. So keep going, Rand. You're fighting a good fight. I know it's an uphill battle. You're like the only sane congressman out there. Farage rages. What's the UK government actually going to do? Hours after the devastating terror attack in Manchester, England, and following UK Prime Minister Theresa May's announcement of quasi-martial law on the streets of Britain, Nigel Farage follows yesterday's BBC anchor's comments and asks, what is our government actually going to do? You know what they're going to do? They're going to strip away your freedoms. Just like the Patriot Act came out after 9/11. That's the whole idea. That's the whole meaning and reason for all these false flags. And don't get me wrong. False flags usually kill people, but they are done for an agenda, and they're not done by these terrorists, lone wolf terrorists and all that. It's done for an agenda, and now the agenda is unfolding with quasi-martial law on the streets of Britain, and it absolutely distracted from the Seth Rich story, and everything's being done for a reason. So just hang in there. I told you it was going to get chaotic, and now it's chaotic, and everybody's bored with the Comey stuff. Venezuela is being destroyed from the inside and the outside. Absolutely, the United States has rigged their currency and is destroying the price of oil with their computer programs to hurt Venezuela. And Venezuela is a shining example of why communism and socialism doesn't work. So all you leftists in California, in Berkeley, about 5 miles from me, to that way, to my current left, if you got your socialist utopia, the whole country would end up like Venezuela, and we'll be eating the dogs and cats and the zoo animals. So careful what you wish for, my friends. And I'm going to finish with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the criminal operative for the Clintons. Apparently they got a hold of her laptop, and the Capitol Police are not giving it back, and she's pissed. So everybody should go to the Debbie Wasserman Schultz meeting, where she's basically saying, you either give me back my laptop or I'm going to defund your whole police department. And the classic is she starts off with, you're not diverse enough. Where's the diversity? You don't even know what diversity is. You don't have a checklist and goals to meet for diversity. And then at the end she says, I want my laptop back. And he goes, no, it's part of an investigation. Classic. That woman needs to be hung out and left blown in the wind. And she is definitely knee-deep in criminality. And that laptop is probably giving up some great information. Bravo, Capitol Police Department. Hang in there, because she's going to come at you with the diversity card. Look out. This is Big Swear. This is Navin R. Johnson, the jerk, coming to you from the road to Ruda. Make sure you subscribe. Go to the website. Sign up for the book. You get a free book. You can't beat that. A free book. And buy your Bitcoin and buy your Ethercoin. We'll talk to you later.